Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast episode. I'm going to discuss about closing the gaps in data-driven pharma digital supply chain. This is part two. I'm sure you have seen my part one, where I discussed initial part of it, and I'm going to discuss now part two into this. Before going into that, I just want to again give you a brief idea about what really we are goals, what we want to offer, what we want to achieve. Our goal and objectives are there are various emerging technologies are going to get developed like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, robotic, chatbot, AR, VR, and all that. And how these technologies can help in facing the pharma challenges. They could be into complete digital supply chain management, and that should help in achieving the operational and business excellence with Pharma 4 in mind. So, this information is available at our website. We have also designed a course, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, which is available on Udemy platforms, which has got 20 modules, again covering what I mentioned it earlier. Our YouTube channel is there for almost last 5 years, which is again discussing more details on the individual points. There are presently around 310 videos are there. I am quite sure whatever you're looking, thinking about it, you will definitely find some inputs over there. In fact, if you have any suggestions into that or any topics which have not been covered up or which you have any specific needs or requirement, please do write to us. Do share these things with your network also. We have a podcast channel, which is again the Center of Excellence for Pharma, and you will definitely find a lot of inputs which are on a regular basis, which are relevant to the Pharma 4 industrial requirement, are discussed over here. We have a book series. Presently, there are three books are there. These are available onto Amazon, on Kindle as well as the paperback. Please do refer those books also. So let's get it into today's agenda. It's about how we want to adopt Pharma 4 technology. Some of the technologies have been discussed in a part one also. Here I'm going to discuss some of the balanced technology, which are like digital twins. This is objective is to simulate the supply chain scenarios. Now, when we are talking about the material issue to the production, moving at the various manufacturing steps or stages, getting packed, getting it delivered to the warehouse, and then from the warehouse it's going to the distributions and all. All these scenarios we can really visualize onto the digital twin. That is helpful in identifying if there could be any possible probable disruptions are there. And if those are there, then what we should do? So it will test the resilience against like disruption, like a COVID. So I just gave you one example because COVID had brought many disruption, but otherwise also every factory has got some disruption. Either is the material not available or equipment failures are there, or the skills are not there, many things and all that. The digital twin can really help you to identify those disruption and identify and tell you what could be your decision to rectify those things and all that. Blockchain is coming up to support to those regulatory compliances. Uh, Customers are expecting a good product, quality product and all. companies are facing challenges of spurious products or counterfeit drugs getting into the systems and all that. So to enhance the traceability for the high risk product is the most important challenge. And blockchain can really help into this. So that reduces the counterfeiting drugs also, risk also, and especially into vaccines or any high-end products and all that's so an important thing. IoT sensors can really monitor the cold chain logistic in a real time and ensure the product integrity with the alerts to the temperature deviations or something like that. So strengthening the data governance is most important thing. Even though we are developing these new technologies, we are trying to capture this data and all that. So still there is the options are there that unified data platforms are to be built up, which will integrate all this data which is really coming from suppliers, manufacturers, the distributors, maybe even patients or something like that, transporter, and will enable you the end-to-end visibility. So standardizing those formats and adopting the FAIR principles is most important thing. And that is basically breaking down the silos. When we had old system, we had analog systems, everything the data was stored into the silos. Now in the digital system, we are breaking down those silos. We are connecting all that information or the data across the to and fro basis and all that. And that is helping for a better decision making. So enhancing the collaboration is most important thing. So we will have a maybe supplier portals, like e-bidding systems or improving traceability, e-procurement and all that, which can really reduce the procurement cost by 15% or something like that. And we have to see that we can build up a cross-industry partnerships and all, sharing the data pools for the API availability or mitigating the shortages and also these are the factors which we have to really consider. The regulatory digitization is another important area. Automated compliance reporting. As we are capturing the data directly from the systems, maybe through IoT and all, AI-driven tools can streamline the submission to the regulator, and that will reduce the approval timelines by maybe 30% and all. Pharma companies are looking for a serializations and all. Track and trace systems are really required. New regulatory requirements like DSCs are coming up and all that for the compliances. There are some certain mandates and all that. Those needs to be supported and all that. And this is where the technology can contribute a lot. So implementing those cyber security measures is very important. So you have to invest into cyber security because the data which is getting captured is a very sensitive data. We have to safeguard all that data, which is really crucial and from the potential breaches point of view and all, so which is the important thing. Protecting sensitive data is with the help of cybersecurity, protecting with the cyber threat, ensuring data confidentiality and integrity is all very important. Supply chain integrity is important because we are now talking about emerging technology, digital transformation to move to digital supply chain management and all. So data sharing across the all seamless systems to all stakeholders is very important and vital, along with the protecting from the cyber threats and all that. Importance in compliance is again, I mentioned it earlier also, is very crucial to have a safety and efficacy of the product. Monitoring and audits are also important thing because continuous monitoring of the data and its audits is really required. Since we have changing regulations are coming up, the landscape is very dynamic, so which require many more, not only your uh, regulatory point of view, but maybe your customers, maybe your suppliers, maybe your partners. So everything needs to be get connected, and the new compliances requirements are to be satisfied. So developing a secure and transparent data sharing mechanism has to be built up. So enhancing the trust is very important. So sharing mechanism has to be worked out. The trust among all the stakeholders have to be built up, which will help to data is to be handled responsibly and ethically. Both words are very important. So collaboration among all stakeholders, as I mentioned, from demand planning, supply planning, operation planning, and all is very important. So everyone should have operations towards a one common goal. No? Basically, it's customer satisfaction, customer safety, customer centricity, all is to be taken into consideration and all that. And compliance with the data protection laws is to be provided and all that. Now there are predictive analytics are coming up which are helping further decision making, and these are also to be kept it in mind how we are going to bridge up those gaps between those data and then the expectations of the data from the user point of view for a better data driven decision making. So we have to anticipate those challenges are also there. The stakeholders, their challenges are something different. And the new tools like predictive analytics and all that. Earlier we were only working on to the data and data driven analysis, but now there are concepts like from in the are coming up like your predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis, all those things are there, which can really help in challenges into supply chain and all. So those are also to be thought about it and how those can be adopted and implemented is to be taken into consideration. The next is proactive decision making. No, even if that data is available, you have to use the data for correct, accurate decision making. And then that implementing that proactive measure has to help in enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness and all that. And this enhanced efficiency can lead to supply chain effectiveness. That is how the whole cycle really works it together actually. So better resource allocations and risk management can also help. Blockchain, again, as I mentioned earlier, is enhancing the safety and security and traceability of the product and a batch. The particular product, which material it has used, which machine it has used, which were the process parameters, starting from over there till it reaches to the patients or a customer and all that. Now that needs to be tracked. So enhancing security with this particular thing, along with the storage of data and making it tamper-proof and reliable is very important. So traceability in supply chain is going to help a lot actually. And the blockchain technology provides a platform for assuring all that actually. So accurate data management can help in pharma industry to ensure that data remains accurate and reduces the risk of any errors or any frauds and all that. Next is the investing into artificial intelligence driven digital network capture. So we have to think about investing into the AI driven digital network. This is autonomously mitigating the risk and then any rerouting shipments during the port strikes and everything can be really resolved actually. So the benefits are there that it can reduce the operation cost at a shipping or port level to almost 50%. And it can help in accelerating the time to market for the advanced therapies. So these are certain requirements for the success in there. So you have to have a good leadership which will do the buy-in from the skills and then upskilling about the working people, which is very essential because finally it is the holistic approach which is really required. It's a people-driven system. So it's a people, processes, and technology, which really we are looking at integrating it. And so your leadership must really help, the other skills to buy in this particular system, solutions, adopt to it and all that actually. And then the workforce upscaling will be there, which can really focus on analytics and IoT. And then we are looking at smart manufacturing, smart practices that can also help in other ways like carbon emissions and all also. After this all, I think just coming to a conclusion is that closing those gaps into the industry, you have to really think about enhancing the resilience into the supply chain management system by adoption of digitization, and focusing on to a patient-centric approach, which needs to be developed, which is going to be very important thing. And delivering the next generation therapies to the patient, scaling up the production capabilities and meeting the future healthcare requirements or the demands which are now going to come slowly by adopting this particular thing, even the collaborations, innovations, and many more of those areas are going to come up and all that. So with this, I think I gave you a brief overview about those bridging those gaps and how those data-driven decision making can really help you in improving the optimizing those resources and process efficiencies and leading to the operational and business excellence and all that. Do share these platforms with your network. Write to us with your feedback. Feedback is really valuable for us. So thank you.